So here we go. So Nexgen in the community, we're here to spread community awareness and also talk about real estate.
So Brian.
You guys already know our special guests, and then we have my right hand over here, Frank Navarro, who's been part of the show from the beginning. So
Thanks, Mike.
Frank is our Maryville office branch manager, and he's been our back-to-back top producer the last 2 years.
Big
Right, Frank? Possibly a
Sexy
third?
Frank.
Possibly a third, Frank? What do you say?
Probablemente.
Probablemente. And again, guys, this show, we do it in English and Spanish, Spanglish, and maybe some
Arabic?
Some Arabic.
I doubt
Sal's from Iraq.
Yeah.
So you guys have amazing stories, so we're going to jump right into it, guys. So as far as, this show, we like to learn about our guests because you guys are truly community leaders. And community leaders have a selfless service about them. And that's super important because you guys understand that in this industry, it's about relationships more than anything.
100%.
I know there've been deals that we've done together.
Yeah, recently,
And,
last.
well, and I'm talking about probably when you guys first got started. And I remember, I would say a couple times when we were dealing with the bulk sale, hey, we have somebody else that can offer more, right? And you guys said, well, we gave our word.
Nope.
Even though you had nothing signed, they gave their word. And that's just how you guys operate. So we're going to go more into that and your practices. But let's talk about who you are, where you're from, what you're about, your hometown. So Salwan, will you let
I'll
everyone
start.
know?
You want me? All right, guys. My name is Salwan Shakir. I go by Sal. In case you wonder why, it's easier on the stomach. I was born and raised in Iraq. I'm actually Catholic from Iraq. You don't get to meet many Catholics from Iraq, so we're a minority there. Came to the States at 15-ish. Just had to get the heck out of there. Prosecution, and my dad got shot, and we almost got kidnapped a few times, and the house is full of bullet holes. Just people didn't like the fact that we were Catholic in there, number one. Number two, we work with the U.S. Army, so we're like a double whammy.
Double whammy.
Yeah, if like an insurgent killed us, they would go to heaven, or that's what they thought. So we were like candy to them, as they just kept coming.
They were trophies, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. So we had to get the heck out. It wasn't fun. Just like I'm condensing this, but we got out. So we're here. Started alive. My dad came with some money, but lost it all because of lack of knowledge. Obviously, business here and business back home is completely different. So pretty much lost everything. My dad lost like 70-some pounds in like less than 2 months. So that was the moment that I knew like something had to be done.
Right.
And
how old were you when you came here?
15 and a
You
half.
speak pretty good English?
No English, no.
But you speak pretty good Spanish now, too, though.
I do, see.
Hanging out with Carlos Reyes. So let's go a little bit into Carlos now. We'll get deeper into
Absolutely.
Sal. And Carlos, let us know a little bit about you. We have the audience here watching. I don't know if you know how this camera works, but it picks up detection, so face movements.
Okay, boom, right here, right?
Boom. When you start
Okay.
talking, it'll pick you up.
Camera one.
And then they'll have that big, beautiful view of Carlos Reyes.
All right.
So let us know a little bit more about you, Carlos, about you, your hometown, and all that stuff.
So my name is Carlos Reyes, and I am running for Mexico's next presidency. I'm joking.
You better be part of PRI, or what is it, PRI
The
or PAN?
PAN.
Who's in control?
Pan,
PRI.
you know
Morena.
what? I'm gonna go with Pan
Morena.
because sounds like bread. You know, who doesn't like bread?
Right.
But yeah. Anyway, no, man. No, I born in Hermosillo, raised in Guaymas, spent some time in Cali. Single mom. Government assistance. Mom worked 2 jobs. Never made more than probably $8.25 an hour. I mean, the whole works, like the whole 9 yards. Like the dude that had absolutely no shot. And that's it's pretty common. If your circumstances, if those are your circumstances, I get it. Where the expectation is not to get too far, but. Anyway, I'll give you guys a quick background. Like I said, was raised in Guaymas. Even as a little boy, I was already hustling. I was one of those bag boys at, La Ley, right? La Ley. Ley is like a Walmart down there. I was bagging groceries. putting them on the car, taking them out, asking for tips. I mean,
Frente del circo.
yeah. That's how I can make my life a little better, for those days. And then used to sell bread door to door in Mexico as a kid. I've done everything you can think of, as a teenager. Once I came here illegally, my mom and, paid a penalty, went through the whole process, the legalization process, from A to B, started in 97. My process started in 97, became a citizen in 2012. It's pricey and it's lengthy for sure. So anyway, once I got here into the U.S., even as a young man here, I used to try to help with construction. As 11, 12 years old, I used to freaking sell candy from some dude used to pick us up in a white van. Maybe that wasn't the safest thing now that you think about it, right? But some dude, in the van didn't say ice cream, so just a blank van, pick us up, drop us off at certain neighborhoods, sell door to door. Chocolate and all kinds of other goodies. We'd keep half, he'd keep half. Pretty much child exploitation, which I didn't realize at the time.
Yeah, you were just working,
but anyway, yeah, no. Fast forward, here we are. All those trials and tribulations and failures. Here we are. Met my business partner here, Sal, in 2013, and it's been an amazing ride. We've been able to build several multi-million-dollar companies. And it's been a blessing. We always put God first. He definitely is the head of the spear, and servanthood is definitely one of our purposes in life. And it spread like wildfire. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Over the last 12 months, by the way, guys, we've only been in business for 3 years in real estate.
Wow.
3 years, 2015.
And
right?
not to interrupt you, but I just want to let people know because they're asking. There will be time for questions, guys. So just hold on to your questions. And we'll definitely get to them, so you can ask away once we open up that segment, okay? So, go ahead, Carlos. I didn't mean to cut you off.
And I wish I wish I would have been able to share this so we can get more folks, but they'll
I
begin.
tagged you on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So am I going live too?
Yeah, I mean, if you were to
Maybe.
watch it as well, you can share the podcast onto your.
Really?
See, they're IG guys. They're
Yeah, this
huge
is
in
crazy.
Instagram.
We don't-
Facebook is
yeah.
like for older people. But younger people are coming back, so I've seen a lot of millennials coming back to Facebook. So check this
Really?
out. If you're to share this right now, you can just share it live. It'll go right to whoever is on
Live
your feed.
right here, right here.
Yeah,
Live?
go ahead and share it. Boom. Turn down your volume.
No, not. Yeah, just
Sorry, guys. This is like
here. Do your
Saturday
thing.
night
Do
live
your
stuff,
thing,
so
bro.
you can see
Do
I
your
got you,
thing.
bro. All right, so this is
your thing, big O.
real. So you have your comments coming in here now. So
I got a
Let's do
question.
this.
I got a question. You know what is the score in the South Car hating game?
He knows the score.
Ok, ahorita que estamos hablando aquí también queremos compartir con la gente que está en nuestra comunidad en español, ¿verdad? Y es un orgullo, ¿verdad? Tener con nosotros a Carlos Reyes y está Shakir. Y algo impresionante, pues Carlos nos platica, él nació en Hermosillo, se crió en Guaymas, siempre le damos un aplauso a la gente de Guaymas. ¿verdad?
Arriba Guaymas.
A Guaymas. Si quieres hablar un poquito también en español a nuestra comunidad.
Ok, mi gente, me llamo Carlos Reyes, nací en Hermosillo, Sonora, me crié en Guaymas, en los cerros hermosos de la Independencia, porque allá la gente...
Con la vista al estadio, ¿no?
Oh, ¿sí?
Sí.
¿Tenía vista al estadio?
Sí.
Yeah. Sí. Y las playas, unas playitas ahí, las playitas, ¿te acuerdas?
Ajá.
Pero sí, me crié en Guaymas. Fallé mucho. How do you say failure? Fallé.
Sí.
Fallos, ¿verdad?
Sí, fallar.
Muchos fallos. Empaquetaba groceries.
Bolsas.
No, pero mandado.
El
Empaquetaba
mandado.
mandado, ¿verdad? ¿Ves? El español, si no lo usas,
so you share it.
Se va.
se va gastando, ¿verdad? Aunque tengo el nopalón aquí, disculpe. Pero no, me crié en Guaymas. Mi mamá fue madre sola de mí y mis hermanos. Ella luchó mucho, se vino hasta Estados Unidos, trabajó los campos, le dieron su permiso en el 87 y en el 90 y algo nos trajo para acá. Y el proceso, como yo me legalicé, del 97 comenzamos, agarré mi permiso de trabajo en el 2003, en el 2005 la residencia, y ciudadano en el 2012. Y gracias a Dios, como digo, sí, hubo muchas fallas, mucho sufrimiento, mucha duda, pero la fe nunca se perdió. Conocí a Sal en 2013, aunque es árabe, no era millonario todavía. no tenía dinero de aceite, dinero de petróleo, ¿verdad?
Pero ya era millonario en la mente, ¿no?
Millonario en la mente.
Sí.
I kind of got that. Like, I don't have oil money, right?
No hablo español, así que
podemos hablar de él.
Pero,
we know about you.
Yeah, for sure. Pero voy a terminar con esto. Gracias a Dios y su gracia, entre Sal y yo, los últimos 3 años hemos podido lanzar 10 negocios y varios de esos negocios producen millones de dólares, gracias a Dios. Así que ahí vamos para adelante, de poco a poquito, de poco a poquito.
Una cosa que nos impresiona mucho, Carlos, todo el éxito que han tenido ustedes como grupo, el que siempre, que no somos religiosos y eso, pero lo importante es que todos los planes los ponemos en Dios, ¿verdad?
Claro, sí.
Y esa es la base del éxito que hemos visto de Carlos y Sal.
Somos mire, hay mucha gente que... hey, buddy, you want to speak Spanish?
Yeah. No. Next in
Okay,
Arabic now.
Hay mucha gente que how do you say, neglected o se ha olvidado de Dios por desobediencia, no somos obedientes, pero lo que sí le puedo decir por mi experiencia, porque yo fui muy rebelde por muchos años, ya cuando comencé a caminar ese camino de Dios, porque Dios tiene el camino de usted, pero nosotros somos los que nos vamos así, mire.
Nos desviamos.
Sí,
así
nos
es.
desviamos por diferentes cosas. Cuando comenzamos a caminar el camino de Dios,
En su propósito.
todo, no nomás el negocio, claro, el negocio explotó,
Prospera.
pero espiritualidad, mentalidad, familia, salud, todo a la misma vez. Cuando comenzamos a ser obedientes, así que
Es lo
sí,
que le
gracias a Dios.
llamamos la prosperidad integral, ¿verdad? Tener
Sí.
éxito en familia, en persona, y los negocios se van a multiplicar, ¿verdad? Y eso es lo que vemos el ejemplo con Carlos y Sal.
Claro, gracias.
Perfect. And just moving along, with everything, like you had mentioned earlier, Carlos, and I met you right around that time when you first started getting into real estate. And I remember you walked into our office.
Oh, that was funny.
On
Yeah.
24th Street. So when I first met
This is good.
Carlos,
Did you hear this one?
Oh, yeah.
yeah, when I first met Carlos, there was a pickup truck that we had with, riding, buying houses and everything.
Yeah.
And you had driven by it a few times, and so you decided one day to stop in. So we're in there, and in comes Carlos, and just questions left and right, and is it too loud? No.
Oh no. Damn.
All right, you hear me now. Well, hopefully you hear me now. So I think my long hot pressed the power button. All right.
Some weight, big dog.
Have I?
Kind of sexy.
Okay, now I'm back on, guys. So what I was saying is when I first met Carlos, I was on 24th Street, and we had a pickup truck that was wrapped with "We Buy Houses" and all that good stuff, right?
Yeah.
So in comes Carlos, and it was just I just wasn't used to real estate investors being so open. It just seems like they always had an objective or something as far as trying to get information. But Carlos came in and started talking to us and asking us about certain things, and I think you just started doing mailers. So Carlos comes in with this box, this is what I'm doing, and I'm doing this, I'm doing sign.
The purple mailer.
Yes.
Remember, I'm changing up the envelopes.
Everything.
See if I get a better response, right?
So my point is Carlos came in so open and willing to share what he was doing because you were so hungry for knowledge then, and that's just part of who you are and why I think you've been so successful. Because a lot of realtors, and I'm sure Frank will agree, and I'm sure we have Luis Hernandez, he's in here with us as well, and we have a few other realtors back there listening in. But a lot of times, it's tough to deal with investors because, that uncertainty as far as, you understand the relationship. But
Yeah.
and not that it's a bad one, but the realtors, we're better served working with end buyers.
For sure.
We just have a better relationship of doing that.
It's like good versus evil. But who's the evil?
Yeah, I know, right? It just depends on who you ask. But my point is, when you came in there, I just wasn't used to that. To somebody so open and willing, and whatnot. And then I just saw, our friendship started there. Yeah. And then you guys just started blossoming, and I kept hearing these things about Sal. Like the great, like I'm like the Wizard of Oz almost. You were like a mythical figure. I didn't even know if you really existed. The Prince. Shakir. Yeah. I didn't know if you existed, bro. It was like you were like this mythical creature.
Behind the curtain.
Behind the curtain, bro. With the. Ooh. It's good for the winter.
It is, right? Yeah. Winter is right. Remember you said
winter is coming.
No, yeah. You know what he said this morning? He came over to the house because he's trying to. He ruined my home office because I'm like, hey, bro, can you help me set this up, these speakers, right? And then I'm trying to set up some cameras and stuff. And he just grabbed the subwoofer and put it on my desk and left. That was like a month ago. I'm like, yo, can you like really help me set this up, bro? I set your subwoofer.
In my defense, he has sound now.
Okay. So anyway, yeah. Oh, I got sound. So anyway, we were walking out and he goes, you know what? Winter's coming. I thrive in winter.
And you know what it is?
I swear.
I think what it is you like the clothes in winter.
I do like.
Because you get to look dapper. He walked in with this coat. I wish it fit me, because I would wear it if you'd let me.
That coat's amazing.
It is pretty amazing. All right, guys. Hey, I think we can start answering some questions. Are you guys okay with that?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, guys. Let's get some questions here going. So if you guys have any questions for Carlos, Sal, Frank, even myself, but I think you probably want to hear more from these two gentlemen. So let's go ahead with the questions. I just want to say hello to people too. Victor, Daniel DePascal, Adriana, Amy, Ozzy Korn, Sergio Arqueta, Araceli, hello, Teddy Castro, the mayor, Sergio Martinez, Pedro, Juan Mojica, I'm just going on and on, Janet Martinez, we have Yuli now, so let's go with some questions, guys. I know Jaime had a question earlier. Let's see. Let's see here.
About Carl Hayden. What is the score for the Carl Hayden
game?
For
the Carl Hayden game? What? It's still football
season. I can answer that one. I don't know. My significant other complains because I don't watch enough TV.
Let's see here,
guys. Don't hold back. Ask any question. We're an open book. I know.
So is your audience a lot of maybe realtors?
A lot of everything. A lot of it realtors mainly. It's kind of that's our cup of tea. The United States is better because Carlos and Sal are here. Brian Salmons.
I have a question.
That's amazing.
B.
So Sergio asks, how important is mindset to you guys when approaching a goal?
Oh yeah. Let's get into the saucy stuff.
Okay, there we go. That's Sergio is right here.
Yeah, that was the people wants to.
Oh, right here.
Yeah.
Where we at?
The camera. Looking right at the camera. No, this is the camera right here.
Oh, right here. Yeah.
That's the camera.
Camera one.
Guys, those are the questions we want. I'm not gonna lie to you. We're serial entrepreneurs, and we really live that lifestyle. Like from sun up to sundown. When we open our eyes, so when we close our eyes. Everything you read in the memes, the Instagram memes, and wherever your entrepreneur pages that you're following, like we eat, breathe, and sleep that stuff. Like that is what we are programmed. That is what we are wired to do. So, give me 1 second here. Can you hear me now?
Did you? Is the power button on?
Oh, the power button's on, bro. Come on. I'm not a caveman. Okay.
Yes, okay.
Okay. Just making sure.
Anyway, so that is we love it. Would you agree? I mean, we absolutely
it's
are
our
obsessed.
lifestyle, guys. Some people say
you
work
obsessed.
too much or anything. Obsessed. We are obsessed, I would say. This is a lifestyle, so like that question is actually a really, really good question. Mm-hmm. Mindset, it plays a big role in everything that we do because you shift your mindset, and that's pretty much shifting your whole lifestyle. Some people look at it as an actual job, and some people don't. I think we should start talking about the mindset. That's where everything changes actually.
And I would love to, as soon as Big O can get in here and...
Oh, the questions?
We can have this Can you make mine go live on my profile?
I did. I don't know who touched it.
Oh, you want to answer?
No, like you want to...
Oh, yeah. So where we at?
Yeah, you can answer.
Okay, so how important is mindset to you guys when approaching a goal? So, in my opinion, right, what would you say holds 90-something% back from like just really going all in, right? What holds 97% of today's society back from like really, really, really going after success and like everything? like an abundant life, right? Everything that they've ever wanted, whether it's, you know, financial, worldly, or you know, relationship-wise, right? Can you still hear me? Because I'm about to get it. No, you can't. Okay.
Let's see
I'm about to
here.
drop some fire here, so let me.
You can't hear
Let me see.
Really? What's going on?
Let's
Bro,
see.
you're gonna have to.
Stand up.
You're gonna have to change up the game.
All right, hold on, guys. Let me see
Testing
here.
1 2. We're having
Look,
technical
it's all
difficulties.
working right here. Let me see here.
I mean, this is a
Test.
nice studio, Big O, but whoever your
I
sound
can hear you
engineer,
fine. I can hear them.
whoever your sound engineer.
Claudia, I can hear them.
Hey, can you guys hear us? They're saying. Oh,
I got 2
Jessica said-
mics. I got 2 mics now, guys.
No, it's fine. No,
I got you.
it was fine. This is real live stuff, guys. Let me see here.
2
Hey.
mics.
Guys, we know real estate. We don't know mics.
Hey, they said they can hear us.
Yeah, I think it's
Sauce
fine.
says I can hear you.
It's touching my skin.
Okay, I'm just gonna talk
my
into this
neck.
maybe,
Is
like.
that gonna be good? All right.
Everybody says sounds good. Yeah, we can hear you guys.
Yeah, hear us loud and clear.
Sounds good. We hear you
I
guys.
think that's coming from your guys' stuff over there. Okay.
All right. Actually, Sergio asked the same question. He said, "What
I like
has
a
been
little
the
fire
biggest
drill.
shift in mindset to get you guys
I-
started?" So it's the
I
same
was
one.
trying to, I was really trying to, just to summarize that, right? I said, what holds 97% of people back? It's fear. Fear. Whether we want to admit it or not, it's fear. You know, you're uncomfortable, you're scared of the uncertainty. You know, you have a nice secure job, it's easy to clock in and it's easy to clock out. You know, and you know exactly what you're going to make every 2 weeks. Because you know what? I don't know what I'm going to make. I don't know what I made last month. I don't know what I'm going to make this next month. You know what I mean?
And it's a valid fear because it's pretty much having a leap of faith in yourself. And I actually know some people, like close friends, that are struggling with that too. It's the leap of faith that they're not taking on or jumping. Because, you know, as humans, anything, we are afraid of the unknown. And, you know, you kind of have to mind F yourself.
Mind F.
Yeah, mind F yourself into that new stage in order to make that leap of faith. Because think about it, if you're working for someone and making all the money for the man, he has faith in you to make the money for him. And you have faith in yourself that you can perform at their standards. Why can't you have standards for yourself and dive into it and just take the leap of faith? If you're working in an industry that you think you can strive and do well, or something that you don't like, just find something that you like and do this. Apply the same work ethic that you do. I mean, now considering that you're doing a good job where you're doing, not just hanging out, going to your work and Facebooking the whole time.
Let me
Go
add
ahead.
something. So, most folks have a 9-to-5 job, and I had one for a very long time, right? And to be quite honest with you, right, I already knew what I was going to make that year, right? And to be quite honest with you, there's more security in actually trying and, you know, trying for yourself and giving yourself a shot and taking a shot on yourself than depending on somebody else. Corporate America, I mean, they'll, you know, chew you up, spit you out, replace you the next day. It doesn't matter, you know. You feel like you have security, right? You feel like you have security, but you really don't. You really don't. How can you even survive off, let's just say that you work like, I'll mention somebody that I was talking to yesterday, right? He's like, I can retire in 5 years, right? And I'm like, okay, but why don't you have the option to retire in 3 years or 5 years, right? This is somebody that I dearly care about. And he's like, yeah, but if I go to 5 years, I get like an extra $100 a month. I'm like, well, this is something I care about. Well, if you retire in 3 years, you know, Joe, I'll buy you a tow truck, right? And then you'll be able to make thousands a month, not your little $100 extra a month for working an extra 2 years.
Well,
See what I'm
so
saying?
a lot of it has
But
to.
he's afraid. You see how the mindset, right? I got to secure extra $100 a month here. And me, looking at it from an entrepreneur standpoint, dude, you got to secure like a couple thousand here. Once we get your marketing going, you got your tow truck going.
Living by the opportunity, you know.
Well, the thing is, it's not entirely their fault. Like for the people that have 9 to 5, so it's not entirely their fault because as a company, they dangle these carrots and it's psychological. it's
yeah.
invented or made to actually keep you in the company, in your position, and keep you just comfortable enough, not comfortable, just comfortable enough to survive. And that's
To feel
that's
cozy.
and that's 90% of it. Yeah.
You know?
And
We got I'm sorry. Go ahead.
so and that's what happens. So people get comfortable, and now they're a few years down the line, and they're like, well, I've been this long in here, and then I only got this much to go, and I have all this stuff to do. But then guess what, guys? If you ask, I would say 90% of the retired people, are they happy with the plan they got or of their retirement?
No.
Most likely, no. Have you seen the people that are working at Walmart? They're older.
Yeah, the breeders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those people are the retired people. This
And
could
the
be you in a
carnies.
few years.
I just went to the fair. There was a bunch of old folks there.
Absolutely. I mean, I went to Fear Farm, and there
Not
was
be
some
90
old
years
people in there.
old, greeting a little bell. No disrespect. I love
You
them.
never
They're
know.
very
They
nice.
might be doing it for fun.
Yeah, there's some people that
That's
do
what
it
I'm
for
saying.
fun
Maybe they
free.
just want to get out the house.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
But no, talking about a lifestyle, if you want your lifestyle to be at a certain stage or a certain level, you can't expect your 9 to 5 hoping for staying for an extra 10 years for that company, because guess what? That company can go away just like that. There's economy crisis. There is there could be a good example, and you know what? It was a blessing in disguise. Carlos was working very, very hard for this
Wait.
position.
Is the bird around? Is there a bird around?
No.
Yeah. You're about to take a shit on me.
No, I'm saying it was a blessing in
I'm
disguise.
joking. Go ahead.
Because Carlos was at this job for 14 years, and the last
I was working for this position for 4 years.
and that position, I remember the very last year, because they were choosing this one person for this a high level position, and Carlos was, this man was like, we would call, because we're best friends at that point, he would call me up like early in the morning because he hates driving. So when he drives, he likes to talk to someone, and he would wake me up early, right? And like
Not
after
anymore.
work, he would like come to
Not
my
anymore.
dealership when I owned that dealership at that location. He would change to go to basketball, and like
I was on the
and
go
he
all
would
the time.
yeah, on the go. I'm like, what are you doing? You're working like 12, 14-hour days. It's
Easy.
crazy. He's like, bro, this position and this and that, and I didn't say anything. I didn't wish anything that would happen, but that position was given to the best friend.
Of the guy that was leaving.
Oh, the guy was leaving.
But I was the guy. I was the.
And he was the number
You
one,
were
and the
in
guy
line.
was number 16 in the company.
Ble-
So, I mean,
blessing in disguise, man.
number 17. So being
Thank you,
number
Lord.
17 or number one in the company, I mean, as a businessman, I would choose number one, but you don't know who's the business owner. So they chose the guy that's number 17 that took that shit down. Excuse my French. And
that's not
they
French.
begged Carlos to come back. But guess what? At that point, Carlos had made in like 2 months had made more money than
Then I would in 1 year there.
so.
Yeah.
And that was the leap of faith that he took. But guess what? It took some hardship to do that, right?
Well, let me say
But
something.
if you had to
can we
redo
get
it again-
some questions?
Let me say something else, okay? All right, so we all have this, guys. That is the perfect example of how we all have our plan, and then God has another plan for you, right? A much
just ask
bigger
the
plan,
questions.
a plan that we can't even like. If we're not conscious enough, right? And I'm gonna get off here. If we're not conscious enough, we're not gonna really know with clarity what's ahead. We can't see that far ahead, okay? But God can, right? So, you know, I was devastated. Man, I thought someone just took the world from under me, right? From under my feet. I worked so hard. I traveled so much. I mean, I spent Christmas in Seattle. Like, it was cold. It was snowing, you know. I mean, I was
told me
the
that.
ultimate company man, right? Just like that, I'm still the ultimate company man now.
Your company's number one.
But for our company, right? So anyway, that was it. I said, you know what? I'm gonna get this next position. I'll make 6 figures, right? I'll make 110,000 in a year, which is a very comfortable living, especially here in Arizona, right? But then they took it from under my feet, and my mind, like me and him had a talk, and man, I went from like. Who's seen the movie Venom? Tommy?
I haven't seen it
I
yet.
went from like the dude, right? The little reporter dude, to like Venom.
Yeah.
Like, we can eat what we want. You know what I'm saying? Like I went all the way from one side to the other. Like we just started grinding.
That
man.
is
like,
that's
man,
very
this guy-
accurate now. I think about it.
I mean, at that point, man. So this is, by the way, guys, you want to know how to leave your jobs, right? And by the way, just to finish that up, that's God's plan. God's like, hey, just let go of this little, whatever you got. I got something much bigger for you. Just trust me, right?
Preach, they say. Preach.
Preach. Let's go. Let's go, Tasha.
It's called letting
Let's
go of
go,
the vine,
Tasha.
right? Letting
So
go of the
letting
vine.
go of the vine, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, I mean, we started grinding. We were obsessed, and this is how you leave your 9-to-5 job, guys. Write this down, okay? You either take a demotion, or somehow, some way, reduce your hours per week, right? So if you're, I was at that point, I was working, like Sal said, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. all day long, and then go to the gym for like an hour and go home, right? I literally had no life. So once my mind shift, once I was like, you know what? I'm going somewhere else. I'm gonna do something else, right? I said, you know what? I'm gonna work from 7 a.m. not to 7 p.m. anymore, to 3 p.m. And then from 3:30 on, what happened? For 1 year, one straight year. What happened?
Straight business, everything.
Grinding, boom. I was like the Energizer battery, because I knew what I was building towards. I was just so full of energy, so full of hope, right? So full of faith that I was gonna leave this job. Man, honestly, I don't even know if I was there for like an entire year. You know what I mean? But it was a blessing, man. Like reduce. If someone's trying to give you a higher position and you have that entrepreneur itch, you're never going to be happy at a job.
And guys, if you think your company cares about you, I really want to mention this. What happened? The very last day, he has a team that loves him, and some of the team members are working with us currently in our company.
For sure.
And they didn't even let him stay his last day of work in there. They actually made him go do some
It was
bull crap.
disgusting.
Like, if you think your company really cares about you after 14 damn years.
No, hold on. They made me. So I went from like this head honcho entrepreneur. Why? Because I brought another service to them that was making them money. Right? I was an entrepreneur at that point. So I did all this, busted my ass for 14 years since I was a little boy. I was literally like 17, right? And obviously I got screwed over. I forgive them because because of that action, I'm living a life that that only God had imagined for me, right? So they started sending. They're like, okay, well, we're taking out of your branch, and from now on, just go to the junkyards and just market our business, So I don't care, bro. I'm as humble as you get, though. If I need again, I was a bag boy, a bread boy, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever you want to call it. If it needs to get done, I'll do whatever you need me to do. I'll do your land. I don't know how to do landscaping, but if I did landscaping, I'd probably be one of the best in the world. You know what I mean? I would go that hard at it, because when I get obsessed about something and energized and focused about something, I don't stop until I'm one of the best. Honestly, I mean, you know that.
Oh, absolutely.
Same thing with you. Thank God.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I found the right partner. I wish he had a little less hair, but you know what? We're gonna work through that. We're gonna work through that.
It's winter,
Yeah.
It's meant to be.
I mean, it was a blessing. That's another thing, guys. If you do have a partner or partners, we have what's called the partnership principles, right? And the first one is trust, as it should be, right? Trust.
Never,
Never, ever lie. Do you have partners?
Yeah?
Have you ever lied to them?
No.
That doesn't sound certain.
Nothing. Trust.
Well, so trust is number one.
Have you ever
Yeah.
lied to them? Like, hey, did you go get that Starbucks? And then you look and there's no Starbucks, and you're like, yeah, I got it. I'm coming back right now. No, you never done that. Be honest.
That's very.
Be honest.
99%.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Well, the one, when it comes to trust, me and
Yeah.
Sal, it's never, ever lie. Never,
Yeah.
no matter what. Right?
That's number two.
Yeah.
Just never, ever lie. Number three?
that was not.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Never lie.
No, you
Well,
got.
this is the first time.
No, it's not. It's not. No, I actually.
Actually, you just wrote it down on that.
I just wrote it down because we just created these principles, right? We were kind of just naturally operating on these principles, and these are very, very important principles, and I'll tell you why. Because I know there's a lot of people that have partners, right? And here we go, right? So, where's that? Right. And I apologize.
Oh, you're good. We're gonna go to a commercial break.
Wait, are you serious?
No, no.
All right, here we go. There, partnership principles, right?
We're gonna promote.
it.
Who else? Who else do we have here?
I
Is
got it.
Diana
I got
Flores
it. Here we
in the
go.
house?
Guys,
Efren's in the
partnership
house?
principles, we just created them. We put them down. You know, like when, I'm not going to compare it to the,
Right now.
to the 10 Commandments, right? It's not like the 10 Commandments, but, you know, it is our 4 commandments, right?
For a partnership, because
Yeah.
we have a lot of people that come to us and say, guys, I just split up with my partner. This happened, this and that, or I'm looking for a partner. So a lot of common questions.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
In real estate, right, it's big business, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tens of thousands of dollars, right? Hundreds of thousands of dollars, right?
Money changes people.
So, why do you think real estate is, I would say, one of the industries that has probably the least amount of partners? I would say so. And if they're partners, they're structured in a certain way, in a weird way, you know, where maybe one guy is making more.
It's not through and through.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It just depends. That's a hard question to answer.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Maybe
As far as,
I
like,
don't know the realtor
you know,
side,
partnerships
Right?
and
Yeah, I don't
whatnot.
know the realtor side because the realtor side, obviously, you know, you guys work a little bit different, you know, commissions and it all goes through, you know, title, so everything's kind of black and white, right? So yeah, you can trust your partner, but it doesn't matter because, you know, it's kind of out of your control anyway. You know, somebody else is handling all your money. You know what I mean? At all times, if you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, I've told you and Sal, I think what you guys have is pretty rare
Yeah.
as far as what you've been able to do together.
But that's the thing.
So-
It's not that hard, or that it should be that rare. That's why we always talk about partnership. We actually have some people.
I have
that,
them right
yeah,
here.
he has them.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good. The last one.
So trust, respect, accountability, and always make the company the #1 priority.
Yeah. So the reason I said lie, see, if trust and respect, actually both of them point to never lie.
Never lie. Yeah. Trust, you know, you respect, right? So be ethical. Be 100%, 110% ethical with your partner. But again, in the investment side, there isn't a lot of partnerships. And we've seen partnerships just completely dismantle in either like a 3-month period or a 12-month period. And guess why it always happens? What do you think the #1 reason is? Right? Greed. You know?
Money.
Money. Always. It's always money.
Jaden, there goes Jaden.
Yeah, it's
putting the
always
money
money.
bags on there.
And you know why? And I'll be honest with you. This is just my opinion. In my opinion, the reason why money and greed and all that is still around, especially in business, is because there isn't enough of God. You know, there isn't.
They worship money.
Well, no.
No
There isn't
more than
enough.
money.
There isn't enough heart, right? There isn't enough heart, and there isn't enough heart because there isn't enough God in their hearts. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Because when God's in your heart, money, I see money like I see that backpack. You know what I mean? It is what it is, right?
It's a
gonna
tool.
serve its purpose.
It's
you
a
know?
tool.
It's
Yeah.
going to serve its purpose. It's going to go where I tell it to go and bring me back what I tell it to bring me back. So that's how you should see money. You shouldn't lust for money, you know, because money is not the root of all evil. The lust for money is the root of all evil.
And
right?
you know what? A lot of people talk about this, like the elders say, "Oh, money's evil, money's bad, money's bad." But
That is
no, it
disgusting
only
programming.
amplifies who you are internally.
Yeah.
And if you have you seen what you can do with money? If someone is watching and like didn't have much money, and then they receive this lump sum of money, what do they do with it?
They're usually broke.
I mean, if they're not broke, if they use it to help the family, guess what? Then internally you're good. You're trying to help other people. But if you're a bad person, it's just gonna amplify who you are. You're just gonna blow it on cocaine and you know. So
And that's one of the things I've talked to you guys about is as
We
far
cannot
as
mention then.
the success that you guys have had. And I told Carlos this before. I think, you know, now versus when I first met you, I think you're a more humble person now
Thank you,
than
bro.
when I first met you. And that says a lot about success because you've been very successful. So have you, Sal. And as far as like the trajectory of what your financial gain has been, is you've become more balanced people. You've become more humble, and you've become more giving as far as like giving back to the community, different community programs, relations.
We just started our 501.
So yeah, you guys
On
want to talk a
Halloween.
little
Yeah.
bit
Yeah.
about what you guys are doing out
Yeah.
in the community?
So guys, allinflipping.com. I'll tell you what, you know, with allinflipping.com, we throw in this event. It's a 2-day event, and we literally teach people everything that we do and how we do it. literally step by step, A through Z, written down and verbal, and writing also. And it is very powerful because it's not just about growth in business. It's about spirituality. It's about mindset. And I'll tell you this much. We have 142 people that have attended, and I think most of them are making crazy amount of money in their respective markets.
7 figures. A lot of them are doing 7 figures.
7 figures. That's it. I got messages. I get messages all day. Thank God. You know what I mean? That, hey, man, everything that you taught me, it saved my life. It saved my family's life, right? And I'll say something else. I'll share something else. Sal and I, we actually don't like to help bad people, even though that could be, because, God says love thy neighbor. You know what I mean? But it's really, really tough for me to create a bad person and make them into a millionaire. It's hard for me to make that person into a millionaire because I know that I'm actually contributing towards something that I may not be wanting to contribute towards.
And
right?
to translate that, we've actually, in our last event, we refunded a bunch of people.
Yeah, we kicked some people out, refunded some people.
They paid us money, and we just refunded
we
their
only
money immediately.
Guys, the reason why, like, a lot of people, if you think about it, right, because, the world has energy frequencies like you just wouldn't believe, right? And the reason why we're like so magnetic, right? We bring so many people in. It's because we only surround ourselves with just amazing people, not only financially but mentally and spiritually. To be quite honest with you, like I said, we actually are doing, we've got a project going on, right? It's we're mentoring 10 individuals. 10 individuals. I have 183 people that reached out to me and said, I want you to mentor me, right? I want you to mentor me. 10 individuals. I got to select 10 out of 183 so far, and it's probably still going to come, and he knows this because I'm like, yo, look at what's going on here, right? It's crazy. But we've already selected 2, right? We selected Ace and AK from Washington, D.C. They came down over last weekend, spent some time with us. It was a beautiful thing. It was deep. And then we selected Miguel and Peter from Charlotte. And those are 2 companies that for the next 6 months, we're actually going to help them build a multi-million-dollar company. That is how much God has blessed us. That we already know, like we're already making money. We got 10 different businesses, et cetera, et cetera. Now it's time to start blessing other people. You see what I'm saying? Because our cup is full. Our water is dripping, my friend, Our water is dripping, and it's like we just, that old saying, my cup runneth over, right? We have to start blessing other people, and that is what we're doing. We're trying to do, and, God willing, again, I've asked to be his vessel. I've asked him to use me as a tool, and I'm sure you have to.
Absolutely.
So it's whatever God's will, that's where we're headed, whatever he wants us to do.
And that's interesting you say that, Carlos. Last weekend, I think it was a Saturday, I went in to go see you. Last Saturday?
Yeah.
What was I there for?
Yeah.
Anyhow, I popped in.
I know what you were there for, the new little business venture we're working on.
Okay.
Exactly.
I popped in, and Carlos was on a phone call. And on that phone call...
No, sorry.
Oh, no, that's fine. Go ahead, Frankie. You got something to say, Big Frankie?
No,
Let me just finish this thought.
We're reading the comments.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll start going through those, but I just want to make a point. Carlos was on a phone call, and it was on speakerphone, and one of the things you were doing is basically interviewing this guy, and you flat out told him is like, I'm going to vet you, and I'll let you know if I think you're worthy of us to make you straight up. This guy's ready to throw all kinds of, at Carlos, but no, Carlos is very.
Listen to this, because he was there.
It was just an amazing thing to witness.
Very sneaky.
Sneaky?
Yeah,
or
you're very sneaky. You're so sneaky, and in so many good ways, though.
Okay, there you go. Well, sneaky sounds.
It didn't sound good at first. But
yeah, it didn't sound good, man.
You're very observant, right?
Very observant.
I realized that, like, I didn't even know the guy's in the room. Like, he's like, dude.
I'm like a fly on the wall.
You're like a ninja, bro. You're a real estate ninja.
Like a sponge.
So what happened? Tell
me
exactly
but
what
it was just an amazing thing to witness. Is Carlos, even though this guy's throwing I don't know how many thousands at you for your information, for your mentoring, and your reply to him wasn't, okay, well, go ahead and wire the money to this account. Nope. No, it was like, hey, I'll check you out. I'm gonna vet you, and then we'll decide whether or not you're worthy.
I told him to send me an email. Remember, I broke it all
Yep.
down to him, right? Yeah, a lot of it was business, but the last two parts, give me a background on who you are,
Yep.
and tell me your why.
Right.
Why do you want to become a millionaire?
And I thought that was very amazing, just to be able to pull that card out, regardless, because as you said, it's not about the amount of money, right? It's about what you can do with what you have,
For sure.
and what you've been able to obtain.
I'll prove it to you, Sal. If a POS, raise your hand if you don't know what a POS is on Facebook.
Point of sale, right?
Right?
I'm thinking of the restaurant
it's not point of
business.
sale, bro.
Well, I'm thinking of the restaurant
It
swiping
stinks.
machine.
It doesn't smell good.
Smells,
Okay.
It doesn't smell, yeah.
Oh,
dogs do it in the
no,
backyard.
okay.
Yeah.
Right? Where it's like we're playing a game,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It comes
yeah.
out once or twice a day. Oh, no.
Depends,
A
yeah.
POS, right?
Sometimes it's tough.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Point
it's a
of
little.
sale, yeah.
But I'm like, why are we on?
Point of
Oh,
sale.
if you're selling whatever you're
Well,
selling,
we
but
sell
I don't wanna
restaurants.
buy
We
it.
sell restaurants, bro.
I'm
So,
sorry.
we gotta. People ask for the POS printout.
Okay.
Yeah, so we got to give that.
That's all right.
Blessings
We understand.
beyond
All right.
belief. Thank you, Amy. Shout out to
Hey,
Amy.
let's take a look at a few of these
Yeah.
comments, guys. We got
Shout
a
out to
pretty good
Amy.
following going on.
Amy from WFG now. She moved. She's one of the best. She's one of the best reps, best escrows managers in the entire world, not just the country.
Would
the
you guys
world.
like some water or something?
Respect to both of you. Miss you, Sal, Lufty. You know what?
Would you like
Yeah,
one?
I'll take some water.
Give me another
bro,
one
if
of
that's
these.
okay. Thank you, man. So anyway, Sal, my question to you was,
Yes.
if a POS, someone that you don't
Point
think
of sale.
very highly of,
Uh-huh.
if a person that you don't think very highly of on a mental and spiritual level says, Sal, I want you to teach me everything you know. I'll give you 50 grand. I'll give you 100 grand. What are you gonna do?
No.
Why?
Simple. No. I can't. If I can't be.
Wait,
If I
hold
can't
on.
be myself.
Wait. Would you turn $100,000 down,
Would you like one? So,
What is that?
Mr.
mineral water,
Oh
Would you turn
yeah.
soda
$100,000
water.
down?
There you go.
Here.
No,
If $100,000 looked at you in the face and said,
Yeah.
Frank,
Oh,
take me, I'm ready. I am ready, Frank.
I don't know if I have another one of those. Oh, hold on. Yeah, go ahead and take that one.
Thank you.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I only
So-
brought 3
So
up.
let's talk about the
Ci viene
money.
pensando in
Give me
spesso.
yes.
Guys, this. By the way, this program is not sponsored by Jarritos, but I will say they're pretty good. And you can look them up at the Food City,
We can
the
make
Ranch
sure.
Market.
He sold those at La Ley, right? La Ley.
Wait, were they around?
Thank you.
Established, made in Mexico. I don't know if they were around, Big O.
They had
Anyway.
to be, bro.
So tell me why, Sal.
Made in Tempe, Mexico.
Tell me why $100,000. Well, look at a bang would have been insane.
You want to bang?
I
got more.
I don't want to bang you, but I'll take this bang. Yeah, I'll take this bang right here.
You want one?
I'm good. I'm good.
Yvette, can
No,
you
that
bring
is
me another
delicious.
one, please? Another bang?
All right, so $100,000 looks at you in the face and says, "Hey, man, I want you to put all the systems and processes and strategies and implementations
It's a
in
simple
place
no.
for me." Right?
That's a simple no.
Why not?
Well, first of all,
Why not?
well, that goes to the same principle of refunding some people's money at the event we threw, because you don't want to give the blueprint to someone who's not good inside. Like when they're ready, God always said, plant on fertile soil. And if we're trying to spread God's word and work, I don't want to give it to someone who's evil that's going to use it for evil. I would rather give it to someone who's worthy of
He's
it.
out there.
Because that one person that's worthy of it, if I'm going to give it to someone, we're going to give it to someone else, that means it's going to take away from someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And if rather than give it to this person, give it to this person that's going to flourish and give to other people. That's what you want. Number two is just, we're not really cursing much. Normally we curse a lot more in person. So we're
Facts.
trying to be very respectful. And so we're very blunt and upfront. And we can't be ourselves mentoring someone that we can't relate to or be 100% with. So just plain and simple, if I don't like you, I'm not going to be friendly with you and try to put that smile and teach you everything I know. So why even waste your money with me or with us?
And that's amazing. And you know, I gave Sal Carlos the props about, you know, as far as he's become more of a humble guy. And I can even see the same for you. It's like, you know, this rise now, and you're just balancing out. I mean, you're engaged now. Sorry, ladies, but this man, and he's married, so, but, you know, but this young man is engaged now, so it's just like that that trajectory as far as what success has done to you guys. You didn't go wild out. You guys became more balanced and just more rounded and just self-aware of everything.
It all comes down to mental maturity, spiritual maturity. You know what I mean?
Right.
Being aligned, being fulfilled, being happy, being passionate. About what you do. Right.
Right.
Being happy. What is the only thing that makes us happy, Sal?
Growth.
Growth.
That's simple.
Man, we become very, very, very miserable people when we stop growing. Because there's been a couple months, in the past where we're like
in a rut.
And it's this. I mean, we get in bad moods, right? We start throwing stuff at each other.
I witnessed that wrestling match yesterday at your office. That was pretty epic.
That was company culture.
That was pretty epic.
The Green Ranger, he thinks he can beat up Superman.
Boy, he was wrong.
But the Green Ranger needs the other Rangers to be powerful, right?
saying.
So he was out of his league already.
He was
right.
He was outnumbered by status.
Oh, it's epic.
Yeah.
Oh,
I slammed him. Anyway.
Did the TV break? You guys break the TV?
I threw the beanbag.
We haven't tried it, but I don't know if it
squashed
works
this
or not.
guy, right?
That TV might be done.
It might.
It is, but it's a little old. Honestly, it's been there for 2 years. Anyway, so let me give you another spiritual analogy that I have, right?
Okay.
Okay. So
Someone asked, I am confused on what makes a good student for you to mentor. And this is not just for us. This could be for
how
everybody.
do you
like
take someone's
to
character
mentor.
that fast?
How do you dedicate someone?
Like you had to
I
humble
can't see the
your
rest of
wax.
the comment for some
I
reason. It
can't.
doesn't allow
Yeah,
me.
let's look at some of the comments, guys. I think we got some gold there.
Like you said.
So for some reason, I can't see this.
Hold on. Von Treese, I'll give you a quick answer. Like Omar said, I said, hey, I have to vet you. So I have to vet you.
Yeah, that's a very vague question.
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
to vet you, right? So I am going to find out who you are before I commit to spending time with you.
Let me just point something out. Is this an Apple table? Is this all we got on this table?
Why? I'm not an Apple guy.
You got your iPhone.
Yeah,
huh?
iPhone, but
Puro, yeah.
When it
Hey
comes to
man,
business-
it is what it is, man.
when it comes to business, I don't do Apple. I tried. Mac is sexy, but it's not good for business.
No, you got to use different.
I use
yeah,
HP. We use HP.
Use whatever
But
you
anyway,
can.
so let's go back to
Okay.
what I was saying about God, right? So in my opinion, I'm not gonna lie to you. Since when I started walking the path of God, right, being obedient, right, being disciplined to Him,
Right.
that's when He really started to help me become, what people would consider a leader, right? Because I don't have to be the leader. I don't care. I'm not the kind of guy that, I got to be the head honcho.
You're always a student. That's the
I'll
thing.
sit back and
Always
just-
a student.
I'll sit back and then I'll naturally just do whatever it is that I need to do, right?
Yeah.
Whatever, an old, what was that? Oh, so a leader does what needs to get done, period, right? And that goes in life if you're the head of your household, and that goes in business if something needs to get done. A leader does what needs to get done. But what I'm going to say is, God creates leaders. Why does God create leaders? Because leaders create other leaders, right? Honestly, I've seen this. It's insane. So God blesses leaders because He knows when He blesses that one person, God works very efficiently and very effectively, right? And God works very efficiently, very effectively. God has like the ultimate business. He's the ultimate businessman, right? He runs the world, right? And all these moving parts just kind of work together. That's a business for you, right? So anyway, so God blesses a leader, and He says, I'm going to bless this guy. Why? Because he's ready. He's ready mentally. He's ready spiritually. I tested him with little. I tested him with more, and I tested him with much more, right? And every single time, he showed me good results, right? So He makes this person a leader, and then this person, it's like a wildfire. Like I told you, we didn't do this. What's happening across the country with me and Sal, we didn't do this. We didn't do this. We just did whatever God said. Hey, go do this, go do that. That's all we did, right? And it's crazy. And we'll answer the questions. But so God creates leaders because He knows that He's going to be able to reach so many more people, masses across the country.
Yeah, sometimes you're called for duty, and sometimes you're called for duty, and you have no choice but to accept.
Yeah, and I'll give you a perfect example because I love seeing our All In REI. This is All In right here, All In REI family, right? I like seeing them become financially successful.
You know it's gonna go.
Oh, yeah, I told you that.
Are we over?
No, we're good.
Okay, I like seeing them become financially successful, spiritually successful, mentally successful, right? because that's really how you create a leader. And I'll finish it up with this, and I'll give you an example. Keith Everett and Lenny from Alabama, right? We have poured time into them, pour value into them, right? Absolutely love these guys. This man Keith was selling his shoes,
His bed.
his clothes,
Last thing was to sell.
to take an Uber to the next appointment, right?
Last thing left to sell, and this guy,
Props.
This guy, I
People
gotta
hear
give
this
him
guy's
so much.
story, yeah.
The last thing was he was gonna sell the fridge in his apartment that he doesn't even own, so he can afford to go to an appointment. Much love, Keith. I mean, that's dedication. And he said
Keith
this. He's
Everett.
like, if you're not willing to sell the bed that you sleep on for something better, then you're not ready. You're not all in. And this is a symbol that we came up with. It's called All In Entrepreneurs. That means it's either you're all in or you're all out.
And just
Well,
finish
you
up
know
with
the
Keith's
alignment.
story.
You know
Yes.
the alignment.
I want to
Go
finish
ahead.
up Keith's story.
Okay.
I want to do the man justice.
Go ahead.
Man starts taking Ubers to blah, blah, blah. I vetted him, I felt him, I spoke to him, we connected, right? Gave him and Lenny, started kind of helping them out. They're a company in Alabama. Now, these are two big black dudes with tattoos everywhere. You see, this guy has a kiss on his neck. It's crazy, right?
Whose kiss?
These guys'
Whose lips are
company-
those?
Oh, by the way, AlabamaCashOffer.com. Much love,
Yeah,
right?
Big Keith.
Big Keith. This man and Lenny, they both produce over $100,000 a month. Their company produces over $100K a month every single month in, month out. And last time him and I were FaceTiming, the whole entire family knew my name. Dad's in the background. What's up, Carlos? Mom, hey, when you coming by Alabama? You know what I mean? Like,
Let me know when you go. I want to
see,
go.
That is what you do when you create a leader. You create that man. Keith is blessing his entire family and blessing many hundreds of others already. And that is the beautiful part of this whole process, right?
Absolutely.
That's real.
Now, let me ask you, where did the Spade come from on the all-in logo?
You know why. Come on, you know why.
Tell
You're
me.
a card player. You used to invite me to poker every Thursday.
I know. Well, you see this one right here,
Oh,
right?
I love this. Look at
Right?
this.
Oh, there we go.
This was here before this was here.
Oh,
But just to let you know,
what are you trying to say,
we're-
bro?
that we're
Did you
aligned.
trademark it?
That we're
Did you
aligned.
trademark it?
That we're aligned. That's what I'm saying. You leave me hanging, bro.
Is it-
No,
love
this
it,
right
bro.
here
That's
was, I think I told you the story. I was in the 101st Airborne.
Give me the story, baby.
And in World War
People wanna
II,
hear it.
Band of Brothers, if you've ever watched Band of Brothers, guys, they had the Spade on their Kevlar. That's how they identified themselves. Easy Company, Band of Brothers, 101st Airborne Division, all day. So
right,
this is my living tribute.
Well, thank you for your
them.
service.
Shout out to Brandon. Yo, thank you for your service.
It's
man.
about
Yo,
the
you got-
101st, bro.
Okay, I love it. I love it. So
I
see,
wanted to.
yo, is there a coincidence here?
No,
Is there a coincidence?
there's not a coincidence,
Right?
bro.
God incidents.
It's a God
God
incident.
incident.
Oh, look at
Yep.
this. I love that.
So Frank is a minister. So Frank preaches the word.
Frank, you are full of surprises, my friend.
Oh, really?
Oh man, I watch you closely.
I think
I know who you
you are my followers.
I know who you are, Frank. I've seen the commercial.
Oh, nice.
I've seen the commercials with the funny commercials. You are full of energy. I love it. I love it. Von Trees, yep. Answer that question. You know what? Let's answer some questions here, Mr. Brian Salmons. You guys built.
You can't see the rest.
You guys built
Yeah, you
several.
can put it like, and you can see it.
Oh,
together.
you guys built several businesses around your REI business. Can you speak to how your business has transformed and grown into the different add-on businesses? Oh man. Well,
Is that going
I
to take
mean,
another hour?
It's not. So, guys, what we did was I would say we structured and mastered just about every single service we were using. Cold calling,
Softwares.
certain softwares. I'm not going to
Marketing.
get in the depth of things, right? And we started creating our own, and we were like, okay, you know what? We took the pros and took the cons. We don't like this. We don't like that. We like this. Started creating our own programs and our own businesses, and I'll give you an example. MagnusDigital.com, right? Him and I have been. How much money do you think that we have spent on pay-per-click in the last 3-4 years?
Probably 600,000 on PPC
on
alone.
PPC alone, yeah.
Plus online, maybe like $700,000-800,000.
$700,000-800,000, right? So when it comes to pay-per-click, we perfected, campaign-wise,
Right.
right? Growing pains, right? So then we're like, you know what? We're pretty good at PPC. Why don't we start offering this service, right? Teamed up with an expert from Google, and we started MagnusDigital.com. That's a multi-million-dollar company. That's probably going to be one of our best companies because that company is definitely here to stay.
Right.
Especially in a digital age, right? So many things to offer, and we're only going to get better and better and better. So,
right.
Anyways, those are some of the services that we offer. What else here? Love you guys. Love you too, Amy. Everything you do in life, you need a why. Love it. Angie, the call with James. Oh, Angie saw the call with James. Sometimes we go live. And what we love to do, what would you say one of your favorite things to do? This is one of my favorite things to do.
Break down the business.
Is you show me your business, and then I just break it down. I'm like, boom, 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 boom. We just like the Matrix, right? It's like he's Neo, and I'll be the
Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah.
What was this guy?
No, you're Lawrence Fishburne because you're the almighty systemizer, integrator guy. So anyway, we love to look at a business and break it down, dismantle it completely, and then put it back together.
Yeah, I think that's part of growth because for us, like, we enjoy growth.
Yeah.
So before the growth space, you have to break down something and build on a good foundation. And for everyone that we talk to, the first step we do is break it down.
So we did that live.
Is Sammy still here? Or
Everybody's
she left?
leaving, guys, because we can talk forever. You shouldn't have brought us on, bro. So,
No. This is what
we have less views now because we blab and blab.
Hey, but you know what? We're still going though. We're still going. Let's do this, guys, because I know you guys are super busy. If you guys can't find something that
thanks for responding. Bring the vetting process on. Can you make my leadership explode? Brandon, I actually spoke to this man, Brandon from Orlando. I spoke to him, like the last couple of days. I don't know if it was between 5 or 6. He's in Orlando. So when it's like 9 over there, it's like 6 here.
Right.
When I'm up early, he knows I'm up between 5 and 6 anyway. I don't know why. I wish I could sleep in. I wish I can be asleep till 11 o'clock one day. I hope
maybe one day when you go on.
I'm going to pray for it.
All right.
So anyway, Brandon's coming to see us in a few weeks. And we're going to hope to make his business explode very soon.
Nice.
So thank you, Brandon.
Well, let's do this, guys. We've been going for about an hour now, and the content you've been dropping is fire. So if you're still with us, if you watched, you've witnessed just a great amount of information help scale your business and talk about mindset. And you heard the amazing story for both of them. Somebody said you should make a movie about both of your lives. So you'd have like Carlos, his episode, then Sal, a different movie, Mexican, and then a joint movie. So it'd be a what do they call it? It'd be a three series film. Yeah, 3 episodes.
Yeah. Maybe we should have a concert like Kanye West and Jay-Z had one. Watch the Throne. So Kanye went out there and did his thing, and then Jay-Z went out there and did his thing, and then they kind of did their thing together.
There we go. I love it. I love it. So again, you guys, thank you for joining us, Nexgen Real Estate in the Community, with our amazing guests here, Carlos Reyes and Sal Shakir from National Cash Offer. So one of the things we like to do, guys, and I know you've already shared so many stories and moments and information with everybody here with us, but we want to hear just something unique. So you have a special moment, a funny story, something that you'd like to share with our people as far as like in the real estate business. You have any special stories or special moment that you'd want to share?
In the real estate business?
In the real estate business.
A funny moment?
A funny or special moment.
One.
It could be, whatever it is.
But there's something special.
Pretty broad.
I would love to talk about something special as well, not in the real estate. That happened this
okay,
week.
well, feel free.
But there's a funny moment as well where we went to that crack house.
Let's go funny moment first.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, there we go.
So we bought this house.
This is the first day you accidentally did meth.
Apparently I
we'll
did meth
somehow.
With
that.
So
Sal smokes
we
meth.
bought this house from this girl that was in prison with the help of her mom, notary and everything, and that just, no one thought this deal would happen.
Thank you, Arthur.
But somehow this deal happened, right? So we ended up buying this house. You walk this house and there's bicycles, dismantled bicycles. They steal them and they sell the parts.
Chop shop.
Chop shop. That's in the back. The first thing you see is like wires taken down from the neighbor. Like they steal electricity. Then they end up having a generator at one point. You walk in.
They were getting electricity from the car battery at one
point. At one point, from something.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie to you though. They're very creative.
They are.
Oh yeah.
Very creative.
So we walked in and there's some
reverse engineering, bro.
like this and like a needle in their hand, and there's people like in other rooms doing stuff, and like it's crazy, right? So we were trying to sell the house, but these guys are not leaving. So we're trying to show the house because we're trying to wholesale the house at some point.
I know we ended up buying that house because we
But-
had to get them out.
Yeah.
They was in prison.
So, but I was.
And then you
to
guys
me, I
had
was
to
showing.
But just
decontaminate
tell
it and
just tell
everything.
the only way you can get into the house.
Yeah,
for
the only way to get in,
anything-
I had to pay whatever money I had in my pocket at first.
that's-
Admission.
And,
This
and then
was a
we made an
full-blown,
agreement. Like
like,
every time I'm gonna
drug
have to
deal.
come to the house, I'm gonna pay you $20. And they were happy about it. They didn't want us in, but then, and they were squatters. They were the friend of the daughter that's in prison. So there were nobody that's not even on the title or anywhere on the lease or anything. So I walk in with one of our buddies, Carlito, and he's trying to check out the house. I don't know, remember what we're looking for in there in the house. And the same thing, that famous couch is like knocks people out. Someone was knocked out there.
Yeah.
And we're going through the rooms, and then one of the rooms had a swastika. And that swastika room, I remember seeing it, but then it was closed. So I'm like, hey, let's go to this room. I got to show you what's going on there. And there was this guy, like, putting down something, and there's some smoke, and
That's called a crack pipe.
I think it was. I don't know.
If
It
they have
was.
them in Iraq.
It
or
was
I
no
don't know
pipe.
what
I don't
kind
know
of
if it
stuff
was
you
like
guys
I think it was a spoon, and there was like some foil. It was like weird, right? But and then Carlito was like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Run, let's get out of here." So we run out, and he's coughing, and I'm coughing. I'm like, "What? What? It tastes like rat poison." It was so bad. I think it was the first time I accidentally
Remember when you came back to
inhaled.
the office? I was like, "Hey, bro, what's wrong with you?"
Yeah, he's like, "Tell me what's wrong with you," and I'm like, "I'm done with this shit. Yeah, I'm going there every time showing this, and you're telling me what's going on. I have to deal with crackheads every time. You know what's going on."
So this man was literally sitting there. You ever seen Friday Smokey?
Too many times.
When he smokes
Yeah.
that, I don't know, that angel dust.
There you go.
Remember that?
Yep.
Yeah, so this man's just sitting there, and he's kind of just shaking. I'm like, yo, what is wrong with you, bro? And then he's like all itchy. You were
It was-
itchy, and you weren't hungry, or I don't know. You remember you were going through all kinds of stuff that
It was
day.
disgusting. I can taste like rat poison.
He literally inhaled meth smoke for like 30 minutes. So he
That
came
guy
back-
took a really good hit too, but like I think he was like preparing for that hit. Right when we opened the door, it was
Oh,
like
yeah.
it like
He
it
just,
was
he just blew it in your face.
it was like yeah, it was weird. But
But guys, there's honestly on the investment side, you run into a lot of those type of situations.
there's people trying to knock us out and running behind us.
Hey, yeah,
It's
you
weird.
run into all kinds of stuff. Mike and the boys, remember Mike and the
Yeah.
boys? So anyway, we'll get to. Let's go over a blessing. That
There you
happened,
go.
All right. I have a good friend who grew up in Maryville. Shout out to Maryville, right?
We're in Maryville right now.
We're in Maryville
That's
right now,
right. It's home,
So,
baby.
have a good friend, and his daughter, at 12 years old, her name is Jordan, and she's at the Phoenix Children's Hospital, and she was diagnosed with cancer, right, on her leg, and that was really tough. God put in my heart that I needed to do something, right? I don't know why. I've never been part of like a GoFundMe, situation, anything like that. And because it's tough for me to even like. I always try to I try to conserve and protect my energy, right? So I really try not to get involved with the, unfortunately, the bad things that do happen in life, right? If someone's dying and there's a burial, like unless that person was really close to me, I try to really, really protect my energy, right? So, but something told me to call, this person, right? And, God was just saying, hey, he was just pointing me in that direction. I'm like, why? What's going on, right? And then I called him, and I said, I just started asking questions, right? And I started asking questions on, first about, the baby girl, the 12-year-old who, I've known this guy for a while, so I've seen her since she was a baby. And, we start talking about Jordan and the treatments, and they're like, the guy's like, hey, look, man, I think we have to sell the house. And I said, okay, well, great. If you do, I got an agent. And he'll give you my pricing, right, as an investor, et cetera. Jonathan Salcido, who works
He's
for
one of
Nexgen Real
Nexgen.
Estate,
Oh, yeah.
right? So, anyway, he's like the pretty boy of Nexgen. So
He
anyway,
is pretty lovely. Yeah.
Yes, his business cards are ridiculous.
Oh,
They're
ridiculous.
amazing. They're
Oh, yeah.
amazing. Yeah. So anyway, so I start, asking this man's financials. I'm just like, okay, so, you need to sell the house. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Well, the next day, the doctor says, no, you can't sell the house because when you're going through chemotherapy, she's already immune and used to that environment. You can't take her to another environment when you're going through chemotherapy because your white blood cells are really low, so you can get sick pretty easily, right? Your immune system is just on the floor. So he's like, man, look, now we can't even sell the house, so I don't know what's gonna happen. And by that time, I already had asked enough information to say, to just make some arrangements on my accord, right? And I showed up to the hospital, whatever God had me do. I spoke to her. We made an agreement. And I said, you need to get better and this and that. I said, you got to go all in on this fight. God's with you. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was bawling, crying. I felt the Holy Spirit not over me, but there was grown men in there, from their side of the family. The dudes are tatted up, bald, essays, whatever. Everybody's bawling. Like everybody in that room is just crying, and it was just one of the most beautiful things that I've been a part of, And like I said, I'll keep what I did to myself, right? But what I did do was God told me to call the mom and said, hey, start this GoFundMe account, and what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna share, 30 minutes to an hour of my time if you donate to this cause, right? And then Alex joined, and Sal, and the All In family. We kind of just pushed this thing, and the goal was to raise $35,000, right? We raised like $45,000 in like 2 days. So, glory to God, the goal was met like that. And that's how you know that God had his hand in it this whole time,
And it doesn't hurt to contribute more.
If
you guys want to contribute more, if for someone that contributes $100,
we'll post a GoFundMe
to Jordan's
link
journey. Then
it's called Jordan's Journey.
Yeah, we have a webinar today at 3:00 that we will answer every question about business.
Yeah.
I've already posted it on there, guys, on the page.
Thank you so much.
So we've already put it on the link.
What's going to happen at 3 p.m. Arizona Mountain Standard Time? We're probably going to go on this live webinar with hundreds of people who donated to the cause, and God's going to return on the investment like He always does. And when God returns, He don't just give you back your money. We all know that. You know what I mean? He gives you significantly amount more, 10x, 20x, 200x, right? So at 3:00 today, we are going to help hundreds of people, God willing, across the country in this business.
And if people, I donated. I know a bunch of people in the office donated. And if anybody else out there that donates, is there still time for them to jump on that webinar with you guys?
Absolutely.
Oh, it's only 12.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 12:20. We're good.
There's almost 3 hours left. So
okay, so they're going to keep track.
You can just reach out to Dora at National Cash Offer after you donate. Send her the receipt, and she will send you the link to the webinar.
How do they get a hold of Dora?
Dora at nationalcashoffer.com.
Okay, let's see.
You donate there, and we're going to drop some
fire.
No,
you donate through the link.
GoFundMe. Let Dora know you did it. Send her a confirmation, and we're going to do a webinar. She'll send you the invitation, and at 3:00, we're gonna break this business down, and I bet you hundreds of thousands of dollars are going to come from those people.
And I think what we can do is maybe tag Jordan or her mom on Facebook so they can get some good some good thoughts maybe their way if you guys want to send good thoughts their way.
And you know what, guys, with us, like I said, we just created our 501c company to help families in financial distress. We're going to be, God willing, we're going to be pumping a lot of money into that to help families in the community. Because I was there. My mom was a single mom, and there was times where we didn't have money to pay the electricity bill, which probably was like $80-something. There was times when we couldn't pay the rent. My mom used to get the food stamps back in the day with the little, remember the little booklets?
The little booklets, and you'd have to rip them out carefully.
I was rich. Go to Circle K.
Oh yeah.
So,
old school.
Yeah. So anyway, there's a lot of families in distress like that. And that's, we're just, God's doing what He's doing, and God willing, it actually goes a lot farther than that. Recently, I was going to tell you, we're going to be involved in helping with this church in Rocky Point, just little things like that, just little things like that are just like what really matters in life. And like I said, God blesses the right people. And if you are not that right person now, then just become the right person, and He will bless you, right? If you're not prepared to get His blessings now, prepare yourself and then ask, and He'll do it.
All right, guys. Well, I think I think that's about all the time we got. We'll be here all day if we keep answering more questions. So, Frank, you have any last closing comments?
No, that's
Spanish,
fine.
español.
En español.
There we go,
Para
Frankie.
terminar, ¿verdad? Pues muchas gracias por tener aquí, ¿verdad? Carlos y Sal. Como les mencionamos, este fue un $1 million seminar for free.
A lot of value.
Un seminario de $1 millón, ¿verdad? De cambiar nuestra mente. Y una de las cosas que hablaba mucho era del miedo, ¿verdad? Pero uno de nuestros mentores decía que detrás del miedo está el dinero. ¿Verdad? Behind the fear is the money.
Yeah. Well, my mindset, I'll be honest with you. Do you think about money?
I didn't understand what you were
He
talking
says
about.
behind the fear is the money, but I told him, money's never been, nunca ha sido un motivo para nosotros.
Exacto.
El motivo para nosotros es el crecimiento, growth.
That's why if you always think about
I'll translate it.
being at a
Let me see if
level
I could have been a
that
professional
you can always
translator.
push forward. If you're at a level where you're against the wall, you always should
Si
think
estás
that you're
contra la,
against the
si
wall when
estás
you're
contra la
starting
pared,
something new.
puedes empujar. Es muy
Even if
fácil
you have
para
comfort,
empujarte de la pared.
Even if you have comfort,
Aunque estás a
make sure that
gusto.
you mind F yourself to
I don't know how to say that one.
to put yourself against the wall to push forward.
Hey, Frank speaks English,
Y
guys.
actuar.
Okay.
No, but for some of the people
Yeah,
that
I got you.
watch it,
Sí, para
let
los
me
que están en
recommend
español
a
ahí.
book in Spanish, okay? Se llama Secretos de la Mente Millonaria, T. Harv Eker. That book changed my life. Read that twice.
Ese libro también fue uno de los grandes libros que nos ayudó mucho.
¿Lo
Nosotros lo
leíste en
recomendamos.
español o inglés?
Lo leí en español. En español lo leímos, estudiamos por un año ese libro y es impresionante lo que te puede cambiar tu manera de pensar acerca de lo que es el dinero, ¿no?
Y si tienes un negocio, agarra un libro que se llama Traction.
Attraction.
Traction. Te enseña cómo poner todas las piezas en el negocio para que, they perform efficiently.
Perfecto, ya saben ahí estos libros recomendados, ¿verdad? Y es una de las partes importantes empezar a crecer primero en nuestra mente para que todo lo demás empiece a crecer.
Claro.
Pues muchas gracias por estar con nosotros. Thank you very much, Sal, Carlos. We had a pleasure.
Yeah, guys,
Thank you.
I really appreciate you guys. You guys know that, we're friends first.
Yep.
And I really appreciate the support with Nexgen
Yeah.
that we have together. I consider myself part of the All-In family, and
100%.
you guys are part of Nexgen.
I can't
And-
give you enough hats. Right, every time you don't have a hat on, I'm like, where's your hat, Omar?
Well, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
We have something for you
Ooh.
and for Sal, so for being guests.
Okay.
All right.
Now, you get one of our exclusive snapbacks. And it's got a spade on it, too, so...
This is sexy.
I feel
did
kinda-
get here. I'm gonna try it.
Let me see this.
No hair.
Let me see this. How's it look?
Oh, delicious. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
delicious. All right, guys, we'd like
Can I say
to...
one thing about
Yeah,
Big
yeah.
O? Let me say one thing about Big about
Yomo.
Omar.
Yomo.
We call him, all kinds of names.
All kinds
right?
of names. Not bad names.
So, definitely, like Omar, I become very, very close to Omar these past couple years. And it's because, Omar really is what he portrays to be, which is a good person. And that is very, very rare to find. And, one of the biggest life hacks, right, is surrounding yourself with the right people. That is a life hack.
Right.
Because that's kind of free. It's free, it's a life hack, So that's one of the biggest life hacks in the world is just surrounding yourself with the right people. And Omar is definitely one of those individuals who I consider, being one of the right people. So everybody in your organization, they've definitely made a good decision, being around you. So
And
I'm
if-
proud to call you a friend and a colleague too.
I appreciate that.
Sure.
And if someone hasn't joined Nexgen, guys, why?
We try to recruit people to the next meeting.
Yeah,
right?
all the
We just
time.
like, yo,
And you have. And you have.
Omar's
Yeah.
amazing. Go join Omar.
All right, we're going to do this, guys. Group hug. Come on. We're going to finish this out. Come on. Come on, Brody. You get in on this, too. Come on.
The big guy.
Come on.
All right.
Group hug. All right.
Oh, hey.
There we go.
Hey.
All right. All right. All in on 3. 1, 2, 3. All in.
baby.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, guys, and we'll let you know when we'll be back with the next show. And you guys want to say bye to everybody?
All right,
Yeah.
guys. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. If you haven't caught it, go back and watch it. Thank you
It'll
for
be on
allowing us for being
YouTube.
here, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you.
So the one thing that I'll say is, commit, right? Whatever
Right.
you got going on in life or whatever you're trying to do with yourself, commit and never, ever, ever give up. So commit yourself 100% and don't give up.
That's one of Frank's sayings. Never
Yeah,
give
always,
up.
always when I
Man,
find
you're full
my
of-
shorts,
you are full of
say
secrets,
never
my
give
friend.
up.
That's right. All right, guys. God bless. Thank you for joining us. Happy November, and we'll see you soon. Thank you, guys.
Sí, nos vemos.